Hi, this is Siofra's Magic Alcove, and I'm Siofra Bradigan. So, since Ostara or Spring Equinox in the Northern Hemisphere is coming up next week on the 20th, I figured today would be a good day to go over some of the basic elements of a spring ritual and some of the background and that kind of thing for people if you're trying to figure out what you want to do. And so traditionally, as a spring ritual, this is about the awakening of the life force, the energy that has been, hiding in the trees and waiting to burst out, the flowers and bulbs in the ground, waiting to come up as the earth warms up, and it's triggered by the changing and how much light we have. So the equinox is an important moment because of that, because from this moment on, the sun has more power and strength, and the day has more light than darkness. And so it's a complete shift of what we've been going through since Samhain, or winter solstice. Um, so it's about newness, about planting seeds in ourselves as well as in the ground. It's about noticing and participating in that energy. Animals are going through mating processes, noticing one another. Pregnancies are beginning to happen. Birds are, making nests and reacquainting themselves with mates or acquiring new ones. So, there's this bursting kind of force going on around out there. And so when it comes to the cross quarters and the quarters, and this is one of the quarter celebrations, uh, it is marked by obvious changes. So the equal light and equal dark is the same in both hemispheres. Both the northern and the southern hemisphere are having an equinox, although in the southern hemisphere, of course, it's heading into the dark time of the year, and the night will start to have ascendancy, as opposed to the light beginning to have ascendancy up here on the northern half. So I do have a couple of videos on fall rituals and Mabon, potential Mabon activities, which would be appropriate for those of you who live south of the equator. So you can look through the list of ritual or videos that we have and find something appropriate for that. But I realized after I looked through it, I hadn't done one for spring. So here we are. We're going to do one for spring. And most people call it Ostara. It's become the popular name for this particular time of year. And that is based on an old Germanic goddess, also known as Esther, Oestre, which is where the word Easter comes from, and also where the word estrogen comes from. So it really has a lot to do with female energy and that kind of thing. And both Ostara and Esther are associated with bunnies and eggs. And it's obvious to us pagans that the Christians have adopted those particular pagan symbols of fertility to add to their celebration of Easter as a resurrection, which is, not an uncommon thing for the church to have done, but also sort of appropriate for this time because it's bringing things back to life. And so it kind of fits into that kind of mythology as well. And there are other gods that have a similar storyline that are worshipped or celebrated this time of year in different cultures. So figuring out what you want to do about it, of course, is the decision that you have to make. Whether it's just something very simple as planting something in your garden, putting a special herb or plant or whatever in your yard to honor that time, and just to get out into the earth and do something with that, or if it's planting a seed within yourself, or both. There's no reason why you can't do both. And if you have a group of people that you're celebrating with, it's nice to have some shared honey cakes and juice or whatever it is that's your drink of choice, and celebrate that with each other and uh, acknowledge that beginning of abundance that's on the way. At least that's what we hope. That is the beginning of that. So, when I was looking through my book on this, I was trying to think if there was anything in here in the research that actually was appropriate to mention. And, really, this is kind of the information that you can find just about anywhere. It's not hard to come by basic information about the holiday. So I thought instead I'd share some of the ritual that we put together and give you some ideas of things that you can do. So whenever you're setting up a ritual space, whatever the time of year is, you decorate the space with the appropriate items. So for a rite of spring, you want to have flowers, green boughs, and other decorations of the seasons, pussy willows or long grasses, whatever is appropriate in your area where you live. And what we have done is have a cauldron full of water that we charge during the ritual. That after the ritual is over, we pour that charged water into the garden outside or onto the earth to kind of like add our energy and our awareness to the spring and to all of the stuff that's coming along. So using the kind of incense, sweet incense would be appropriate for this kind of a ceremony. So rose, strawberry, jasmine, something that's light and airy and sweet. So think about that. You certainly wouldn't want to do sage, for example. Sweetgrass is always nice and might not be a bad incense for this, but it's hard to keep burning. So, look around, see what you have, see what feels right, and that's what this is about, is tuning into the energy that you have and your relationship with the earth around you and your cultural background, heritage, or whatever, and just sort of look for ways to bring that forward and honor it. So for a full-on ritual, of course, we charge our salt in our water and cleanse ourselves and bless each other and so forth in order to get ready. Because the idea of doing a ritual, getting ready for a ritual, is like, it's sort of like taking a bath before you do something important. It's like taking off the energy of the everyday and the ordinary and getting ready for something magical and extraordinary. And that is the purpose of most of the things that we do in a ritual. It's a way of creating an environment in our unconscious and our subconscious, as well as in our physical reality, and in a space that spirits and the energies around us can sense, so that they are aware of the fact that we are aware. Because that's how we develop relationships with the spirits that inhabit the land where we live, is by doing this kind of thing, being out and about and all magical and stuff. So, I know I take bits and pieces from rituals that I find on the internet when I'm doing research, or from books that I have in my library, and I never remember where any of them come from. So if I'm using someone's words, I apologize and let me know. But it's just what feels good and what feels right. So the beginning of this ritual, when I start it, I say, "Seekers of the ancient ways, think upon the coming again of the warm seasons of the return of life, and of the ways in which our distant ancestors once honored the old gods and gave blessings to field and forest in times far past." So this is a good way to begin that process of reconnecting with the history of the land upon which we walk. So this is the time of change when the earth wakes up from winter slumber. Reach down and feel that energy now. Something is happening. Today we help the earth to wake, as we have done since time began, with bells around our ankles and rattles and other noisemakers in our hands. Others also dance on the earth, encouraging her to awaken, encouraging the plants to grow, encouraging life to spring forth once again as the wheel turns. Let us now do this sacred work and keep the circle unbroken. We celebrate the awakening of the earth and the return of beauty and of fruitfulness. Life has quickened forest, meadow, and field. Let us celebrate the return of the gentle times with spell and chant and song. Let the far kingdoms be hailed. So that is what we call the statement of intent, to help us remember why we're there, what we're doing, what we're focusing on, and that kind of thing. And the invocations, or evocations in this case, that we did were sort of, basic. You can dress them up any way you want. But here are the ones that we have in this one. Hail, guardians of the east, cleansing elements of air, soft and whispering winds from afar. Greetings be unto thee in the name of the old gods. Blow clear and fresh and free in magical presence here. We call upon you to bring us your wisdom as we celebrate this first day of spring. Hail and welcome. Hail, guardians of the south, powers of fire, of strength and light. We invite you into our circle, warming and quickening light from afar. Greetings be unto thee. In the name of the old gods, grant the warmth that brings forth life in magical presence here. Shine your light upon us that we may see the way to our goals. Strengthen us in mind and body and spirit, so that we may grow in this time of birth and renewal of life. Hail and welcome. Hail, guardians of the west, spirits of water and purity. Cool waters of lake and of stream, greetings be unto thee in the name of the old gods. Flow clear and pure and swift in magical presence here. We invite you into our circle to give us clarity, fluidity, and clear minds for our rites, welcoming the birth and rebirth of the seasons. May the nectar of your essence flow through us and guide us. Hail and welcome. Hail, guardians of the north, powers of earth and of life and renewal. We invite you into our circle. Far lands and wild places, greetings be unto thee. In the name of the old gods, awaken from your sleep to bring forth bounty and magical presence here. We ask you to guard and protect us and help us to create stability in our lives and homes. As spring blesses us, spread your fertile touch in our homes and gardens, bringing new life to those who desire it. May the strength and healing of your essence flow through us and protect us. We invite you to join us now. Hail and welcome. So for this particular ritual, we did just a invitation to the god and the goddess. So the high priest or priest raises his arms in salute, calling, "We give you greetings, O laughing lord of the greenwood, guardian of the wild things, friend and protector of those who seek the wilderness. Grant here your joyous, potent, and enlivening presence. Enjoy our rite as do we, and grant us of your lust for beauty and for life. Blessed be." And the person who does the goddess, "We give you greetings, O loving and gracious Lady of the earth, patroness of the field and of meadow, queen of forest and of stream, giving love, passion, and beauty. Grant here your gentle, laughing, and magical presence. Enjoy our rite as do we, and grant us of your power to enchant and to create. Blessed be." And then at that point, you can do different things to raise energy. We did a calling on life to come forward, and sort of like a how do they phrase that? A call and response kind of thing. So we had the high priest say, "Let us now call upon the life returning everywhere anew. Call now as I do call. come forth, O living waters. And then everyone says, come forth, O living waters. So you get the idea. Come forth, O life-giving earth. Come forth, O soft rains. Come forth, O gentle winds. Come forth, O warmth of the sun. Blessed be the fields. Blessed be the forests. Blessed be the lakes and the streams. Blessed be the noble goddess. Blessed be the laughing god. And it sounds extremely simple, but when you're doing it with a group of people and everyone is saying the words together, it becomes very powerful. We liked doing that in our group, where we would take a poem that we liked and separate it out into phrases, and then so everybody would be participating instead of having just one person reading the whole thing, which actually assisted the group energy in coming together and unifying what we were doing. And then people didn't feel like they were being talked at, so it was more participatory in that sense. And I really have liked how that happens. In some cases, when there's just a few of us, we've all said the thing together, which also adds that kind of energy to it, because everybody is adding their own voice to what's happening, and trying to focus the energy in their own way. So we had this poem I found: Mother Earth below us, Father Sky above us, join in the endless dance of spring. Soul, kiss your beloved with your warm rays, touch her body, wake her gently, for spring has come. Your presence here is welcome, and we are blessed for it. Mother Earth awakens. Bring your blessings to your people, so mote it be. Spirits of the land, spirits of this place, awake. Wipe the sleep from your eyes, come forth to bring the land into bloom again. Unfurl the leaves, paint the flowers, bring the dewdrops that glisten like tiny jewels in the morning sun. We are ready for spring, and we have come to awaken the earth. So mote it be. And, so you can find your own poem, something that you like, something that resonates with you. You can write your own. You don't have to look for someone else's. So, so this would be the magic part of the ritual that I'm getting into now. And this is a charging of a seed. In this case, I say almonds, but it doesn't have to be almonds. Any edible seed. Always check with the people that you're doing this with, and find out if anyone has an allergy or has a difficulty with it, and see if you can come up with alternatives, because the symbolism is just basically something that can turn into something else. And although an almond is actually, the fruit afterwards, it's also the seed that can come and make a new plant and grow a new tree. So you just sort of think that through. So in this case, I'll be saying almonds, and you can substitute whatever you want. So I would put a bowl of almonds in the center of the circle, and then say, everyone take an almond to represent a wish that you have for the coming spring. Something you want to nurture and grow in the coming season. You may take more than one, so you're not limited by your wishes. So then you take the seed that you want to charge up, and you hold it in your hand or in your palms, and then relax and get comfortable. Take a deep breath and relax further, letting your muscles, your face, your body relax and grow still. Like a tree, let your roots go down into the earth. From the base of your spine, your roots go down, down. Your roots growing deeply into the earth, down through the soil, through the rocks, to underground pools of water more ancient than you are. Let your roots drink from this ancient pool and be refreshed. Along your roots, more small roots branch outward, searching through the moist, dark soil. Soon you find other roots, roots of the other trees in this grove, roots of herbs and flowers, roots you can't identify. Inside all of these roots, spring is waiting to happen, the potential, the moment of life. Touch these other roots and encourage them. Love them. Whisper that spring is happening. Now travel back up your roots, up through your body, up and out to the sky. You feel warmer the higher you travel, and you find the sun shining brightly. The sun embraces you gently, feeds you the warmth you need to survive, and you carry this warmth and energy back down into your body, into your roots, giving it to the soil, to the other roots you touch, and to the seed or seeds within your hands. Take a deep breath and begin returning to your body, bringing your roots up a bit, but leaving some within the earth, keeping some of the energy. Return to yourself because we have work to do. Open your eyes when you are ready to continue. Springtime is seed time. Now is the time for each of us to plant that which he or she wishes to come to flower. Let us consider our hopes and opportunities and direct our energies to those things we would start upon the road of life. Springtime is for hopes and desires, for new ideas, for balance and inspiration. We have meditated on that which we wish to bring forth. Let us now take our seed and make them a part of us. So when you eat your seed, you can say, "This seed do I place in the womb of myself, that it may become a part of me, a part of my life to come. As it dissolves within me, may its energy imbue me with energy, hope, and inspiration, that what I seek comes to fruition." And you can repeat that for each seed or wish or hope that you have. And in this we have our high priest say, "Of old would we celebrate by together planting the seed one with another. Here do we symbolize that act in veneration of Our Lady and our Lord." These rites of spring belong to us all, to us and to the gods. This is a time of joy and a time for planting. At this time and in this place, we now call forth and give honor to the seasons of life and fresh beginnings. It is a time for all which is good, for all beings which are new and small, and of promise for the future. At this time and in this place do we salute our noble goddess as the sacred maiden, now returned from cold and from darkness to spread forth her blessings upon the reborn lands. And if you want to charge up some cakes and ale or juice or whatever, you can do that here and direct the power into the cakes. And everybody, in this case, everybody in our group would say, "The power we have gathered is imbued within these sweet cakes, the almond seeds and apple of life, granting us strength, health, and fortune. The power also goes forth so that land may be fertile and all creatures prosper. In the name of the most excellent goddess and her sturdy consort, so mote it be." And then you can feed them to each other, which is kind of fun. We like to hand them out and say, "The blessings of the old ones be with you." And then a sort of a traditional kind of ritual feeding is, "May you never thirst, may you never hunger," and you give that to one another, which is just kind of fun. And then offer some of that to the earth and take it outside, put it under a tree, or if you already are outside, you can do it right there. So when we're done, we did a lot of singing. This is when we would sing all of our songs and just sort of enjoy our music. We had some great songs, and when we were finished, it's time to, say goodbye to everybody and thank them. So, friends, at this time we end this ritual of spring. We have given the proper salutation and become close to the seasonal forces and close to the old ways of magic. Let us give our thanks and farewells to the goddess of spring and her consort. O laughing Lord of the greenwood, we thank thee for thy powerful presence here. We have been honored to have your spirit here among us. Hail, farewell, and blessed be. O loving and gracious Lady of the earth, we thank thee for thy enchanting presence here. We have been honored to have your spirit here among us. Hail and farewell, and blessed be. And then we give thanks and farewell to the elements, starting from the one that we ended up at, so starting at the north and working back. Hail, guardians of the north, spirits of earth, of life and renewal. Thank you for joining us in our celebration of birth and rebirth. Blessed be the fertile earth that provides stability, growth, and life. Stay if you will, go if you must. Hail and farewell. Hail, guardians of the west, spirits of water and purity. Thank you for joining us in our celebration of birth and rebirth. Stay if you will, or blessed be the flowing essence of your nectar of clarity. Stay if you will, go if you must. Hail and farewell. Hail, guardians of the south, spirits of fire and transformation. Thank you for joining with us in our celebration of birth and rebirth. Blessed be your spark of strength and light. Stay if you will, go if you must. Hail and farewell. And hail, guardians of the east, spirits of clarity and new beginnings. Thank you for joining with us in our celebration of birth and rebirth. Blessed be your wind of spring and newness. Stay if you will, go if you must. Hail and farewell. So far lands and wild places, we thank you and give our blessings to thy far realms. Blessed be. The goddess and the god and the earth itself have been honored. This rite of spring is done by the air that is her breath, by the fire that is her spirit, by the waters of her living womb, and by the earth that is her body. The circle is open, yet ever unbroken. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be. And then after you're done with the ritual, you take the water, the cauldron full of water, and take it outside and pour it on the ground and thank the earth, and then get together and celebrate, talk about your hopes and your dreams and what new activities you might want to do, plan for the future. Enjoy one another's company, or be outside in the woods and enjoy the earth, listen to the bees, and watch for the butterflies, and listen to the songs of the birds, and feel the wind on your face. Because really, that's what this is all about. This is all about reconnecting with nature. All of the rituals and everything that people do around the world that have nature at its roots. That's the real secret, if one can call it a secret at all, that we need to reconnect to our environment, become one with it, become part of it. Our culture, our cities, our lives, for a lot of people, are busy and distracting and fast and all encompassing and seem like reality. And this is a way to get back into the larger reality of life itself, of which we are only a small part. So I hope you guys enjoy this one example of a spring ritual. Use any parts of it you want if you would like to. And, let me know if you have any questions, of course. But this is an experiential path, not just an intellectual one. We have wonderful conversations and opportunities and so forth to try and figure out the wheres and wherefores of this and that. But the bottom line is, if you're not going outside and letting the wind kiss your face and letting the sun touch you and the moonlight touch you, then you're not actually doing it at all. So go outside and have a lovely time. And this has been Siofra's Magic Alcove, and I'm Siofra Bradigan. Blessed be.